Hi, this is Edwin Dearborn, another edition of Growth Driven. If you're a small business person and you're looking to expand your brand through the power of influencers, I'm going to share with you an influencer marketing strategy that any small business can use. And factually, it's quite easy. Hello, Edwin Dearborn here, coming to you another edition of Growth Driven, where I like to share with small businesses, startups, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, strategies and tactics to help you grow your brand and ultimately grow your sales and revenue. And something that's been very popular over the last few years is the power of using influencer marketing. But most small business people don't have a strategy to use influencers. Um, and what I've observed is that the concept, the word influencer, connotates this idea that they've got millions of followers. It's some model on Instagram. It's some TikToker, and it's inaccessible, maybe even impractical for a small business. Kind of like, what am I going to do with a swimsuit model when I sell life insurance? What am I going to do with a TikToker influencer when I sell mortgages or I'm a dentist? And I can see how they would view it that way, but I want you to kind of reframe what an influencer is, because there's many levels. There's what is called a nano influencer, which is someone between 1,000 and 10,000 followers, but still engaged. And then you've got a micro influencer, and depending on the definition, from 10,000 to 50,000, some define a micro from 10,000 to 100,000. Myself, I've got 22,000 followers on LinkedIn alone, and they're quite engaged. So I'm a micro influencer within that definition. And when you start to look at influencer within that frame of micro and nano influencers, now it becomes a little bit more accessible. So let's say I want to reach out to realtors. I could find podcasters and TikTokers that maybe only have 5, 10, maybe 20,000 followers, but highly engaged. If I was to work with a number of those people, all of a sudden, I'm going to see more brand awareness for what I do, and I'm going to generate more traffic and social proof as well. This is what I've seen, and why I've done this show Growth Driven was to interview people, to use content, share it on social media, reach out to influencers as guests. And it's definitely worked for me. But I want to tell you a strategy that you can use right now. And that is, I want you to look as influencers as chess pieces. They're kings and queens of their game, and they move around and they make moves and they rule the board. But there's somebody more powerful than the king and the queen, and that is the chess player. I told one of my partnerships that I created, about a year and a half ago. And she came to me after we started marketing and having some success. And she goes, "You know what, Edwin? I want to become an influencer." And I asked her why. And she goes, "Well, I have a friend who's an influencer." And I could tell that she was a bit jealous of the fact that her friend was and she wasn't. So, to make it more agreeable to her, to kind of get her off that anxiety of not being one, and this is a concept I've had before, is I said, "Don't worry about becoming an influencer. Why don't we just influence the influencer? Instead of being the king and queen of a board, why don't you be the chess player of many boards and influence the kings and queens of many boards?" And she was like, "Wow, I love that." And that became our mantra from that point forward, is let's influence the influencers. See, when you collaborate with influencers or you serve influencers, or you in some way empower them, collaborate with them, make them look better, somehow aid their own ego and survival and traction in the marketplace, you become an ally. And now, by allying yourself, instead of just being an influencer, a single influencer, you could actually influence multiple influencers. And what happens when you have a positive impact on an influencer? They're going to send you referrals. They're going to drive traffic through their collaboration to whatever you're offering. They're going to talk about you, refer you in person, maybe even collaborate with you online in their videos, in their posts. But in whatever manner you engage them, online or offline, the fact remains that if you are a powerful resource, you're going to make a lot of money. I was watching this video last night about one of the individuals that co-wrote the song with Don Henley, "The Boys of Summer." I never heard of this guy, but apparently he's worked with all these major writers like Tom Petty, Don Henley, uh, tons of other people, and he's just known to be a great writer, and he's made tons of money. But there he's in the background influencing the influencers. And because he's such a great gift at songwriting, he's making money, but he doesn't have to perform. And now the word spreads amongst Tom Petty and Don Henley and the other artists, and they're like, wow, who helped you write that song? All of a sudden now he's got a greater palette of celebrities to work with. I want you to consider that kind of position for yourself. As a small business person, you're going to come across influencers. Now, they may be small, like the nano or micro, but man, what could that do for your real estate business if all they could do was influence 10,000 people? Not bad. That database of 10,000 people could produce a lot of mortgages or home sales, or if you're a dentist, new patients. And not only are you limited to just that one, you're not limited actually. You could work with dozens of these nano and micro influencers. Thus, the strategy that's easier for most small business people when it comes to influencer marketing is influence the influencers. How do you identify them? Very easily. You ask them, are you active on social media? And a true influencer will just gab away and tell you about all the things they do on social media. Oh my gosh, I've got a cooking channel, or I've got a lifestyle channel. I've got a fashion channel, on TikTok, or they will tell you if they are a nano, micro, or even larger influencer, because influencers love talking about what they're doing on social media. So you just need to engage people and find out if they are. Moreover, you can look at their profiles by the number of followers, by the number of comments. Through asking questions and observation, you can locate these smaller and even larger influencers in everyday life, while you're online, while you're in conversations. And then you just have to get bright enough to go, okay, how can I work? How can I work with, serve, or collaborate with this person in a genuine manner, bring value to them, and in return, because I bring value to them, hence influencing the influencer, I can then reap the benefits of word of mouth and referrals and brand awareness from this influencer. If you use this strategy, it will be very, very effective. This is what I've done to grow my brand and my influence and my connections. And I know that you could do it too. I'm not the smartest guy in the world. I'm not the biggest influencer on YouTube or LinkedIn by any means, but yet I have influence and I'm getting new business from it. This has been another edition of Growth Driven. You make it a great day. Bye-bye.